This is a quick view of the pelvic floor from big picture anatomy. The view we're getting is as if we're looking up into the pelvic canal from the region right between the two lower limbs. There's some bony landmarks that outline this floor of the pelvis, and then we're going to put in place the muscles that fill it in and all of the structures that have exits through the pelvic floor. So, right at the ventral midline, we would be seeing the pubic symphysis, and then at the dorsal midline, right here, we'd be seeing the coccyx. There's a diamond-shaped region then that's defined by going from the pubic symphysis out to the ischium or the ischial tuberosity. That's the bony part of your buttocks that you're sitting on either side. And then what's called the sacrotuberous ligament, extending back to the coccyx or the very last vertebrae of your vertebral column. The pelvic floor is divided into two triangles. That division goes right across what's called the perineum or the perineal region, and there's even a little muscle called the transverse perineal muscle that stretches across there from one ischial tuberosity to the other. You then have a dorsal anal triangle, this region here, that's the anal triangle, and you have a more ventral urogenital triangle, this whole region here. With all these structures is the urogenital triangle. Not surprisingly, in the anal triangle is where we would find the anal sphincter surrounding the anus, where feces are expelled from the tail end of the gut tube. That's the only opening in the anal triangle, and the rest of it is mostly filled in by this muscle that's called the levator ani muscles. When you contract the anal sphincter plus this levator or anal lifting muscle, the levator ani, that's how you consciously withhold feces from being expelled from your body. In the urogenital triangle, we have quite a few more structures. At the very ventral end, suspended from the pubic symphysis, would be the clitoris. This is, by the way, a female view, but males wouldn't be too different, except that the clitoris would be replaced by its homologue, the much larger penis, both of them being made of spongi erectile tissues that get turgid when under sexual excitement. Moving dorsal from the clitoris, you would have the urethral opening surrounded by the urethral sphincter, and then moving further dorsal would be the vaginal opening, leading into the muscular tube that forms the vagina. Surrounding all three of these structures would be what are called the labia majorum, in their core made up of a bulbospongiosus muscle on either side, forming those labia majorum on either side. Also supporting the base of the clitoris or the penis along the ischiopubic ramus in both males and females would be a muscle called the ischiocavernosus muscle. Then the rest of the urogenital triangle is just all filled in with a flat muscle that we call the urogenital diaphragm, all this space in here. In summary then, we're having a view of this diamond-shaped region that forms the pelvic floor, defined by the pubic symphysis, the ischial tuberosities, and the coccyx. The anal triangle part of it has the anal sphincter and opening, and the rest of it is a flat muscle called the levator ani that fills it in. In the urogenital region, you have most ventrally the clitoris, penis in males, the urethral opening in males. That urethra would go into the base of the penis and out the front, and then females, the vaginal opening, surrounded by the labia majorum, formed by the bulbospongiosus muscle and the ischiocavernosus muscle on either side, helping to support the clitoris, the rest of it filled in with the urogenital triangle. That then is the pelvic floor from big picture anatomy.